How's it, guys? This is Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is going to revolve around game week 22, and just let me know if the audio and the video are sounding good. I just want to put a disclaimer out there, or warning, that I have seen some drop frames in the preview, so you might just have to be a bit patient with me today. The internet hasn't been fantastic, so we might drop off slightly, might come back. As I said, just ask for your patience slightly, but at the moment, we are looking Gucci. So let's just hope that it stays that way. Hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday afternoon. Back to the normal Saturday kind of afternoon deadlines. A bit easier to kind of plan around. There are going to be a few different ones coming up, especially with the FA Cup, the EFL Cup, that sort of thing coming up. But game week 22 is normal. It's vanilla. And at the moment, I'm potentially will be rolling the transfer. We had big news about Cole Palmer potentially missing training. I feel like he might be okay for Monday, but with that risk, I've taken the Captaincy off him and I've put it on Salah. And if he does manage to not come and start the fixture, I don't think even if he's kind of fit enough for the bench, I think he won't start. Might be a risk of coming off late into the fixture, but I don't think it's that much risk. But I still wouldn't captain him at this stage unless you guys do want to play that risky play. It's not like Isaac last week where we saw him kind of in training and that sort of thing. We literally have no context about what this injury is, except that it probably was an ankle injury from a bad tackle in the first half. And he hasn't trained since then. So if we get news that he trains today before deadline, obviously he's okay. But at the moment, I don't think we'll be getting that because they're only playing Monday. So just wanted to put that out there. Vice captaincy currently on him, as I just feel like Salah's going to play. But what I probably will do is I'll shift the vice captaincy to Isaac. And let's just see what goes. Actually, what I should do is shift the vice captaincy to Jackson and then see how that goes. But I think a couple of people will be a bit angry at that. But yeah, let me just get back to chat. Sorry, haven't opened it up yet. We had some early rises. I saw Johnny was saying I'm late. Are you saying I'm late or are you saying you late? Because you were not late, brother. I was a little bit late, but usually what I do is I kind of put the stream on the hour and then let it go 5 minutes. So Vincent, no electricity outages, but no chocolate milk as well. I won't lie to you. Last week didn't do me kind of justice. Only the 800 places green arrow, which is a green arrow, but I would have loved a bit more. Abhishek is saying hi and he was first, by the way. Thank you for being first. Siddharth is saying let's go. Palmer, Enzo, and Son on my team all flag. Going to start all of them and then just take the bench points. Yeah, I would do the same, Paulie, to be honest. Enzo, maybe it could be a bit 50-50. I don't know with him who's your kind of benching option at the moment. Jackson out its time, says Joe. So I can agree that you probably don't want that vice captaincy on him. But at the moment, I think I'm just going to roll the transfer. I'm 100% agree with you that Chris Wood outperforms him this week. But I just don't like those Nottingham Forest fixtures upcoming. And I'm going to try and keep myself a bit flexible with my chip strategy, which therefore means I kind of have to bank a transfer just to kind of assess. But yeah, if you have done that move already, like Joe is saying, that's 100% fine. There's also been a few price rises. Wood has risen twice, and Jackson has dropped once. So if you manage to get that, that looks pretty good. Thank you, SH, as well as Adam Palmer, as well as Marius R. And Vincent, thank you for the compliment. How's it, Davey and chat? Going to miss the stream today at the Dubai Desert Classic this weekend. Tracy, enjoy it. Hopefully you, like me, not having to do too much to your team. And otherwise, good luck for the game. We can enjoy the Dubai Desert Classic. Will you not be thinking about the Isaac captain, says Gregory. And then Sadesh comes in with the cheeky Isaac captain. So at the moment, no. I think the fixture is the one that kind of puts me in the territory of it not being that great. I just feel like for me it was between Palm and Salah and it was close between them. So if one of them's flagged, it just gives you an excuse to captain the other. So I'm pretty happy with the Salah captain. I think the midfielders this week have the edge. If you want to look at someone like a Chris Wood, that's also okay. I just don't know how high the ceiling is there. But yeah, I'm fine with the Salah captain, to be honest. Keep or sell Luis Diaz. I think any Liverpool option, unless they're injured, you just keep them for game week 34's double because it's just an extra transfer. Maybe if you want to switch it around and you actually want to use the assistant manager chip and therefore you need to get rid of a Liverpool asset, then it's okay to sell Luis Diaz. But I think this week might not be that week to do it. I think with Jota out, I think Luis Diaz does look okay. He did have a knock and was in training, but I haven't had any news since then, so let's just assume that he is fine. I think it's an okay kind of hold. And who are you going to replace him with? Are you going to go for someone like a Bruno and a Amad Diallo? Their fixtures kind of turn slightly. Maybe an Eze, their fixtures also aren't that great. Gordon, I can understand. Gordon looks quite good, but also their fixtures turn. I just keep Luis Diaz if you do have him. But it's a good question because I think there's a lot of like speculation about kind of Liverpool options, and it's an important reminder about double game week 24. So just keep whoever you do own it, unless, as I said, they are injured. But in terms of my team, as mentioned, I did have a few plans. As far as I know, though, I can't do the Konate in for Gabriel and João Pedro to Chris Wood because there was 2 price rises last night. João Pedro dropped, Chris Wood rose, and therefore I can't even do that rotation. So the only way for me that I kind of like is going to be Jackson to Wood. And as mentioned, I feel like Jackson's okay this week. I understand there might be some worry if Cole Palmer doesn't feature, but that just makes Jackson that much more nailed because we could see like Nkunku in the 10 or something like that. So I'm okay at the moment with Jackson. I think I'm just going to keep him. Next week, if he doesn't look great, I can do Dom Solanke. I like the Spurs fixture turn. And as mentioned, not the biggest fan of Chris Wood's stats and fixtures, but he's an anomaly. I completely get it. So it's almost like someone said it last night at dinner. One of my mates, he said, it's like Jamie Vardy, and that is true. So if Jamie Vardy had that kind of elite finishing, there was just people that didn't trust it. And I can also back it, I guess. So yeah, my moves at the moment are to just bank the transfer. I'm going to see how it kind of progresses as we go along. We might get some early team sheet news. The big news that apparently is going to be Saliba out. So that does make me question potentially going for the double up in the Arsenal clean sheet. That might look a little bit worse for wear. Sorry, chat hadn't loaded, so I'm just going to kind of go through the kind of a quick fire round here, just as an apology. Josh Hazel's asking, let's get to our question. Wood captain, what do you think chasing in my league? If you're chasing your league, I do like it. I still believe, though, that the midfielders have the edge. But if you are chasing, as you've said, let's say you second, the first place doesn't have Chris Wood, I think it's a great chance to maybe make up some of those points. I just think the question you always have to ask is, like, do you see Salah blanking? And I might see it against Nottingham Forest, but against Brentford, I don't exactly see it. I think there's a higher chance here of points. But yeah, if you are chasing, and as I said, there's a massive differential opportunity, I think I'm okay with that. Wood is a 7-pointer now. I mean, you probably would take that over Jackson's blanks. Kingsley is saying, would appreciate some advice. Would you sell Timber and Semenyo? If so, for who? 0.3 in the bank. Keep up the good work. I would just keep them at the moment with who you have. As mentioned, Kingsley, the time to take them out was probably sooner, but because you kept Semenyo, you've reaped the rewards, unlike myself. But I don't really like other midfielder rotations, so I would just keep them. Arsenal, yes, fixtures might not be that good at the moment, but I think in the future they have some good fixtures. Munoz, Rogers, Hasten, bench, in what order? I would probably say Munoz, I would say the order that you have it there. Joe, Jackson to Wood, 5 free transfers. So if you have 5 free transfers, it makes it a bit easier. Joe, can you manage to take João Pedro out to Wood instead of Jackson with those 5 free transfers? Because I think I might back that more. Start Munoz over Gabriel. So that, Nick, you might be asking about that Saliba news. That does make me question about potentially dropping Gabriel and playing Munoz, but I don't know. Isaac, is it pronounced Isaac or Izark? It depends. He's obviously Swedish, so they might pronounce it differently, but at the moment I just say Isaac. It's just a bit easier. FPL Rohits, missed your early questions this week, brother. Saying, if you have Saar, would you just start him over João Pedro? Good luck. That's a tough one, because I think João Pedro with the penalties does have that edge. What's the rest of your team looking like, Rohits? Because I would try and play both. And Fernandez, is it pronounced? It's pronounced Bruno Fernandes. So that's, I know I got some hate for saying that, but it is how it is. Start Semenyo, Hall, or Cole. I always like to play the attacker, so I probably would just go for Semenyo here. And then hope that he does a worldie like he did against Chelsea. Transfer plans this week, Christian, yeah, probably to roll. Start Matero, Gabriel. I'd probably go Mateta. I'd favor the attacker. What's the plan with the wild card? Only later on, Gregory, when the doubles and blanks come up. Should I get Konate for free and bench Rodgers? That doesn't look like a bad move. I do like that. Just make sure, is someone else on your bench that you could potentially just play? Maybe you can just assess, because the Konate and the Liverpool defense, they have a lot of fixtures till doubles. So I'm just worried about a potential injury. Harry, that is an okay move. I do agree with that. Are you sticking? No, I'm sticking on Salah, Captain Matt. It has made me switch. It was close between those two, so I just was kind of wanting to see what would happen. Osama saying, is Bruno to Gordon worth it? I have a mud. No, I just keep Bruno. Start Castagne or Hall? I think I would go for Castagne because of that Leicester game. Would you play Rodgers away or João Pedro away? Connor, for me it's João Pedro quite easily because of that not the double game week, because of those penalties. Ashley, good afternoon to you too. Haaland captain. I mean, it is out there, but it could be. The only thing is Ipswich haven't been as bad recently, I want to say. I just don't know if I trust Haaland, but if you have kept hold of him for this long, he is a differential. So if you want to take a punt, I would say yes, but I'd say Salah probably more reliable. But I mean, as I said, it's a differential if you want to go for it. What to do with Saw? I would just keep him. Apparently looked like he was in training, so it looks like he was fine. Would you start minutes risk Lewis or Timber? I think I would probably stick with Lewis because of the fixture. It's just too hard to ignore this week. No worries, Matt. I know the screen sometimes isn't as clear, so don't worry. Play Dalot or Robinson? I'd play Robinson. Dalot, I don't think I would go anywhere near him. I'm just happy as Shem. Thank you for reminding me about this fact. I'm just happy that I sold him, because imagine I kept him for Southampton at home and then watched him get red carded midweek. I think I would have rage transferred him out already. Akshay saying, should I transfer Cunha to Gakpo? Interesting one. I would probably say, I'd probably say yes. Sorry, I'm just checking something here. It says, okay, just let me know. It says here that users might experience buffering, but I think that might have just been for a short time. So I do apologize for that one, guys. Let me just get back to it. Yeah, so Cunha to Gakpo is an interesting one, because as long as you understand there's going to be rotation with those Liverpool forwards, even in the double game week, I think it's okay to go for him, as long as you understand that risk, but I still like him. Liked 16. What is that? Sorry, am I being a bit blank there? Slight lag. Thanks to Darth. I do appreciate it. Yeah, Giroud. Yeah, a little lag. I do apologize. It gave me the pop up. But as mentioned, if you guys weren't here at the start, some frames were dropped kind of in the preview. It's very small. It's like 5%. So unfortunately, we might have that. Just asking for a bit of patience there. And as I said, I do apologize. Play Henderson or Fabianski? That's a tough one. Play Henderson or Fabianski? Okay, that is actually a good segue into our projected clean sheets and projected goals. Thank you for that one. It's a good reminder. Let's go over to that one. Let me just adjust here. Okay, so these are the projected clean sheets and projected goals from the SpreadX data. Once again, thanks to Rob TFPL. If you guys haven't followed him on Twitter, go do so. He released an absolute banger thread this week on the assistant manager chip from prior history. Basically comparing, should you go for a double game week or should you go for potential table bonuses? If you guys don't know, with assistant manager, if your manager beats a team 5 places or more above them, they get a bonus for a draw and a win. So it basically compared those two options and some very nice insights and kind of averages out of that. So go check that out if you guys haven't. Getting back to this graphic though on screen, we have had some adjustments from the Cole Palmer and Enzo news. Chelsea dropped slightly 2.6, so they're on par with Liverpool. They have the same margin. Other teams to look out for, obviously Nottingham Forest, very high 2.2. Also Newcastle 2.15. And then Man City on 2.5. So Ashley asked about the Haaland captain. I mean, 2.5 is ridiculously high. And obviously Haaland should theoretically, hasn't really been that way, but theoretically should have a ton of goal shares. So if you guys do want to go for Erling Haaland, not a bad shot this week. Yeah, and otherwise, let's go back to the question about should you go for Henderson or should you go for Fabianski. It's so close that I would bring this down to the projected clean sheets. And it's 25% to 23%. So slight edge on Henderson. I would probably just go for him. But yeah, very close between them. You guys can use this if you have kind of benching dilemmas. What this helped me out with was going to be the Fulham versus Crystal Palace or Robinson versus Munoz debate. And because Fulham have a higher chance, obviously went with him. But obviously Munoz is also a good selection. The one I want to point out though, in terms of clean sheets, is going to be Arsenal. 44% is pretty high. I mentioned this in the team selection transfer plans, but Aston Villa's away numbers aren't fantastic. The Saliba news, though, might change this quite a bit, and that's what I do worry about. So that's why I'm fine with it up in the Arsenal clean sheet, but at the moment that might reduce with that Saliba news. And someone also asked about Rico Lewis, and I think it's just because if you have him, you play him with 38%. I know Man City's defense hasn't been great, but it hasn't been shocking. Actually, it has been pretty shocking, to be honest. But yeah, it is against Ipswich. Just roll with it. Now, also with the kind of Jackson Wood debate, I mean, Chelsea's still projected to score a lot of goals. I know Chris Wood has a bit bigger goal share with the Nottingham Forest one. But yeah, not enough reason for me. It's still a good fixture, and that's why I'm going to roll with it. But yeah. So I'm going to leave it up on screen, and I'll try and answer questions with it if you guys want to. Play Aina or Guardiola? I think that you have to play Aina at the moment, Malvin. Sorry, I missed the question to play Rodgers or João Pedro. Connor, it's easy for me, João Pedro. Start Sar, Semenyo or Hall. I'd go for one of the attackers. In this case, let's go over the projected goals. Bournemouth are at 1.18, so I'd probably just say play Sar. How's it, Avi? How did football go after the last stream? Score any bangers? Chris, so we've gone up to Div 1 now, so we're in the top division, and we lost. we got pumped a bit, I won't lie to you. I didn't score any goals. I think I assisted one. But yeah, it wasn't my best game and wasn't our best game overall as a team. I'm trying to check. Yeah, we lost 6-2, so only 2 goals scored. Yeah, it wasn't a great game. Not the best introduction to Div 1. The next question from Penguin saying, start João Pedro or Mbumo or play both and bench Ahmad. Also Wood captain. I mentioned this Wood captain, and I'd only do it if you guys want to be differential. In terms of João Pedro or Mbumo, I think I would go for... I think I'd go for João Pedro. I don't know though, because Mbumo and Brentford are better at home. I think in this case, I might just go for Mbumo. Let me go over projected points to see if anything has changed. Kirill said, thank you for helping me for a couple of years now. Tough decisions. Munoz or Semenyo, thank you. At least I'm helping some other people get some points, because for me, it hasn't been great. I do see we are lagging at the moment, guys. I do apologize for that one. Looks like we are back, so I do apologize for that one. I kind of just paused the questions so that you guys don't miss anything. The last thing was Kirill just saying thank you for helping me out. Do appreciate the kind words. Nice to see I got one thing right, even though probably advised some of you guys something else. I just wanted to go over here. Yeah, I'd go and Boomer over Pedro this week. Very close, but I think the midfielder extra point kind of edges it. I heard they took away Gabriel's assist last week and gave it to you, Davey. Thank you, Vincent. That would explain a lot. But mine was a legit assist. I will confirm it to you. You've also asked Soto Wobi or João Pedro or Rico Lewis. I mean, goodness, that is very tough. I probably would say Iwobi because of the fixture. I think you have to almost play him. With João Pedro, you might argue that, listen, he's been injured, that sort of thing. I have Palmer / Saar flag. Should I make Rodgers first sub or take... No, I would just play them. Apparently, Saar was in training last we've seen. Start Saliba or Castagne, how's it? Well, Vince, apparently Saliba's out. So what I would probably do is I'd play Saliba and just have Castagne as your first defensive sub. Because he might come on anyways. Should I sell Semenyo for Eze this week? No, I think it was probably last week that you'd do that. I would just keep Semenyo. Why Zhao over Rodgers? Is it for the penalties? Yes, and I think it's just the high projected goals. You can see Brighton on 1.38, whereas Aston Villa on 0.83. So I would back that. I agree that I expect Brighton to score more than Rodgers will. Was buzzing about getting 100 points this week. Then I saw they remove one bonus from Watkins. Finished on 99. They absolutely points blocked you there. Let's say they club blocked you. That's a better thing. They club blocked you from the 100 club. Absolutely ridiculous. I do apologize for that one on behalf of FPL. What should you do? Okay, hi Davey. What do you think about transferring Jackson to it? Winston. If you want to do it, I would say go for it. I can understand it. Yes, Chris Wood outscores Jackson this week, probably 99%. I'm going for the 1%. I'm just going to keep Jackson at the moment. Want to be a bit flexible with my transfers and my strategy for the chips. So I'm just going to keep Jackson. But if you have a lot of transfers banked, I think that it's an obvious move. Let's put it that way. Play Hall or Timber. Already gone Gabriel. I think Newcastle have a high chance. Arsenal still have a higher chance though with 44%. I might split the odds there and just play Hall though, just to kind of get some split. If you want to be conservative, that's the approach. I usually put all my eggs in one basket and that hasn't worked out. Jackson to Gakpo with Diaz and Jota most likely out and not happy with Jackson returns. Morris, that is an okay thing. I would say I want a bit more clarity on the Liverpool options closer to game week 24's double. But if you want to go for it now, then do it. Any free memberships to compensate for the poor network today? Vincent, I need more memberships so that I can upgrade my internet. That's the better approach here. So yeah, no free memberships for you, Vincent, unless what's your current rank? Play Hall or Rico Lewis? I think I would go for Rico Lewis. I've Wood and Isaac. Should I go for Elanga for double this game week or Gordon for 23? Thanks, Davey. I have both. Okay, so who are you taking out? Just tell me that, because I'm worried that you're taking out a player that you might not need to. I don't think Elanga's essential. I don't think Gordon's essential either at the moment. Semenyo or Enzo to start. At the moment, it looks like Enzo might be missing, so I would probably just go for Semenyo. No worries, Vince. Start Gay or Morgan Rogers. That's tough. I always go for the attacker, so I'll just say Morgan Rogers. But what you could do here, Aaron, is if you have double up in defense in Arsenal, you can just start Gay and say that you're hoping for a clean sheet, like I sometimes do. Joe says 112 points off top 10k. Still enough time to make that back. Yeah, it's still enough time, especially with the chips around. If you told me that after you've used your bench boost, triple captain, and free it, then I'd say, okay, maybe not. I'm on 230k. Okay, Vincent, if you beat me this season, then I'll gift you a membership. How's it? Davey says Connor saying Palmer, Diaz, and Sarr transfer. I don't think you have to. I think you just keep what you have. As mentioned, I don't know exactly who you would take them to, unless it's Gordon and you want to take a punt. If you have like 5 transfers, 4 transfers, then maybe. Just let me know when I am back. As Vincent saying, like and subscribe while I'm not answering questions. But we should be back. And don't worry, I can see when it drops. So all I'm doing now is when it drops, I'm just kind of being a bit more chilled, and then we can roll it. Teesmeister has taken the advice. Instead of saying the video stopped, you can actually renew your membership. He's been a legend member for 33 months, 3 months away from the 3-year milestone. Cheers for the advice, Davey. Not even a question, Teasmeister, just thanks. I do appreciate you, and thanks for the support. 3 years nearly is absolutely insane. Thank you for being a legend member. It's all good now. Thank you, Siddharth. I do appreciate it. I'm just going to check Twitter once again as we are 30 minutes to deadline. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Don't know what's up or down more. Davey's internet on my FPL season. I mean, same can be said about myself, to be honest. I think we're back, potentially. But just let me know. I'm going to show my team, so if you can see my team, then we good. Okay, I have checked Twitter while I've been gone. Don't worry, I've been productive. I haven't just been not doing anything. And I think I should actually have bad internet more often because everyone's resubscribing their legend memberships. Zakir has been a legend member for 28 months. Hi Davey, Big 28. Would you do Desailly to Munoz and Gordon to Eze, or keep Gordon and go Desailly to Castagne? Okay, so Zakir, I think you can hear me now. Yo, can you play another defender? I think I would keep Gordon, and I might do the Desailly move out, but like unless you have like no bench options. Okay, so Rohan, I did answer the super chat. I said I think you can just roll the transfer. The stream might have been lagging, so thanks for the reminder. Tarang, I'm probably going to roll the transfer this week. Thank you, Vincent, for posting that. Any news on Ismaila Sarr, Luis Diaz? Apparently Sarr looked like he was in training. And Luis Diaz, we haven't had anything good. Would you play Sarr or Mbumo? Trent is in the team. I think on the current situation, I might just play Mbumo. To just like... There might be some risk of a benching, but I guess Mbumo's on penalties. And let's be honest, Trent hasn't been keeping clean sheets. No worries, Rohan. You must always check with me. And as I've said, this is my bad on the kind of bad connection. Actually, it's not my bad. So the reason that it's dropping is that someone else in the complex or state is getting internet. So they are like dropping the connection, putting it up to test things. So I do apologize. It's not my bad. It's their bad, but we're going to roll with what we have. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. And Rohan, no need to apologize. As I said, it's not the most normal stream. At least I'm not kind of stressed about transfers at the moment, because if I was, this might be an absolute disaster. Start Lewis Hall or Rico Lewis. Vincent, I'd go Rico Lewis. I think you have to with that fixture. Shalu, thank you for becoming a member. Do appreciate it. I promise you the connection isn't this bad every week. I'm just going to put that out there. Abishlek is saying best Madison replacement, have Salah, Palmer, Ahmad, or Gordon. The thing with Madison is there's good fixtures next week. I think it's Leicester, so you could just keep him. But if you are looking for a replacement, I would probably say Eze's okay. Otherwise, can you go for a Liverpool midfielder? But that's a bit risky, hey. I mean, you're taking Madison out. Do you really want to take another risk? I don't know. T-Smas, get yourself Starlink with all these memberships. I should probably. I think, though, I don't know if Starlink is legal in SA. I think I saw like a news article that apparently it wasn't legal. So we might have to, though, if the internet gets pretty bad. So I don't need a transfer panic on Luis Diaz. Gid, I can't say like you don't need to, because like let's say he's not in the squad, it's going to be terrible. But at the moment it looks fine. I would say with Darwin's form that if Luis Diaz is at least okay, he will play if Jota's injured, because I don't think it looks that okay. Chiwomi to João Pedro and put Rodgers on the bench. I've got 2 free transfers. I don't know if I'd be buying João Pedro at the moment. Northy. I might just roll with what you have. I do like the fact that you're going to put Rodgers on the beach, though. I think you'd probably prefer that one. What's the plan before deadline? Probably just going to roll the transfer and keep the team as it is now. The team is pretty locked. Yes, Wilson, it is. Shouldn't we get a Mud and Wood, Davey? We could. I only have 1 free transfer. I don't think I would take a hit. But I don't think I'd get a Mud, but I might get Chris Wood. But that's only if I had a lot of free transfers. Looking for a rank push. Which of the following could be the better option? Bruno, Wood, or maybe Jackson? I have Isaac too. So Jackson's definitely the rank push you want. I just wouldn't buy him. I just think you go Chris Wood and then you just kind of stick with him. If you are looking to buy one of those, I would get Chris Wood. Bruno could be there as like a rank pusher, but just don't know if I trust United at the moment. Bench one of Ahmad, Gordon, Iwobi, or Mateta. Ahmad, Gordon, Iwobi, or Mateta. Okay, Adam, I'm gonna go check projected points for you, brother, because that looks pretty shocking. Opinions on Diaz? Yeah, I'd probably just keep him. Okay, so the projected points, Adam, are saying it's between Mateta and Iwobi to bench. Iwobi is currently favored to bench, but I don't know if I could bench him. I just might bench a Mud and then don't trust United. I don't know. It's very tough, though, between those options, but I'd probably say a Mud in my opinion. Then you can just blame me if it goes wrong. Would you do Munoz first bench or Rodgers? I do a Munoz first bench. Or Cowell to Munoz. So the only thing with like Munoz is I don't know if I'd buy him this week. Actually, the fixtures aren't bad. I mean, Brentford's like fantastic. United. Yeah, that's okay. You can do Munoz. You can do Cowell to Munoz if you want to. Cowell, though, should play. Omar saying, what's the plan today? The plan is to roll the transfer. I saw the connection did drop slightly, so if you didn't hear that, it's to roll the transfer. Yeah, David, we're letting it go. Forest against Southampton. I'm hoping for a miracle, to be honest. I'm hoping that Southampton win 1-0. I mean, I don't know what I would do if that happened. Northy, both for the bench. Are you saying Cowell to Munoz to bench? Northy, just put your question again. Sorry, I'm not following. Just paste like exactly what you're saying with that. Play Semenyo or Pedro? I'd play Pedro. Bench Iwobi or Semenyo? Yes, these are tough questions, guys. I think you have to play Iwobi against Leicester. You have to target the newly promoted teams. Do you think Jackson outscores Wood? I'm not sure. No, Con, I don't think he outscores Wood this week. I think over like a medium term he might, but I don't think it's potentially worth the transfer this week. That's my thinking on it. But 100% Wood scores more points than Jackson. I'd probably bet on that if I could. I'm backing Jackson for another week. I just did Pedro to Wood. Also, would you start Rodgers over a Mud? No. I would bench Rodgers. I think Rodgers over a Mud's pretty easy to do. What are your plans going forward? I've got 4 free transfers. So, Aaron, you're in a better place than I am, brother, because my future moves are probably wait and see. And if I want to get double, triple Liverpool or assistant manager, that's what I'm going to use the transfer on. At the moment, though, I'm pretty relaxed on how the team looks. Next week, we might do like Jackson to Solanke if he doesn't look good still, but I don't know. Yeah, Nikhil, hopefully that answers your question as well. I saw that you also asked that. Is it a must to get Gordon? No, it's not a must. Can you explain what you're banking the transfer for? So I'm banking the transfer for just a bit of flexibility on my chip strategy, as well as just kind of future moves. I don't think I want Chris Wood that badly for the medium term, so that's why I'm okay with Jackson for now. This could become Solanke next week, though. I'm just kind of, I just want to assess this week and see, like, let's maybe say I want to use the assistant manager. That's a free transfer I need to bring Arnie Slot in, for example. So I don't think it's worth a transfer this week, basically. Is it a... Sorry, I will have them both on bench, so I will bring in Munoz for Kowo. I need to bench him. No, don't do that then. Just roll the transfer. Exactly, Northy. Just roll the transfer. It's usually like a rule that you don't use transfers to bench players, or you try not to. Because it's just say Munoz gets injured this week, then you regret that transfer quite a bit. Do you know if you have with another chip? No, so Chris, you can only use one. So that's why if you have the triple captain, you have to decide between Salah triple captain and Arnie Slot, or if you want to go for David Moyes, that sort of thing. I know Game Week 23 is a while away, but would you use a triple captain for Salah then, or the assistant manager then? I think I would be tempted by the triple captain then. The only worry though, but it's the same with the assistant manager, I guess, but except I guess a little bit less risk, is that between Bournemouth and Everton away, you have a League Cup game, the second leg against Spurs, and you also have the FA Cup game for Liverpool. So between the 2 Prem games, there's 2 Cup games, which is a bit of a worry because lots of things can happen in that. So that's why I don't know. Bench Raul Jimenez, Ahmad, or Bruno? I think you bench Ahmad in your situation, Yash. Wood as captain this week, I like it if it's very like punty. I think the midfielders still have an edge. Palmer captain, Brentford hard to play at home. Roberto, that's what they said about Nottingham Forest. And yes, Salah didn't score, but he had a ton of chances. So I think Liverpool a little bit fixture proof on the attacking front. But yeah, I don't think Brentford, I think Brentford are worse than Forest at home defensively. That's my estimation. What about the Isaac captain? Just the fixture, Nikhil. Bournemouth have been okay. I think the midfielders had the edge this week. I need to use the triple captain. Advise when. Either double game week 24 or you keep it for later in the season. Start 3 out of Trent, Robinson, Munoz, or Gabriel. Also, why not Wood captain? I don't own Wood first of all for my team. And I just don't know. I don't know how high the ceiling is for Chris Wood versus like a Salah, for example. But yeah, if you, as I said, like there's a lot of people that are asking me like, why not? So if you want to do it and your gut is telling you to do it, then I say go for it. Like it's close on Captaincy this week. I just trust Salah more. He's more consistent. And you'll see that with the majority of managers, they have Chris Wood and Salah, and a lot of them are just going for the Salah captain. But as I said, if you differential, if it's a play for your mini league, if it's a play for kind of a punt, I'd say it looks good. Matt, as mentioned, so that someone else in the estate is getting internet, so they dropping the like connection of the complex so that they can do testing. So that's why it keeps on dropping, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll go. Maybe I'll slip them some money and I'll stop doing it. Christian, 2 free transfers in the bank, 1.8 available to spend. I have the same team as yours apart from I've got Dibbling instead of Eze. What changes should you make, or would you roll your transfer? So I would probably just play Munoz instead of Dibbling, and I'd probably just roll as well, Christian. Salah vs Palmer for captaincy. Okay, so for me, it's close between those two. The only factor now is that Palmer is that doubt. So that's why I might not be looking at him. Also, if you guys see anything about injury news, I'd appreciate you just putting it in the chat, because I don't want to go and check Twitter and then it loses connection if I'm stretching the internet too much. So if you guys see anything over on Twitter, just please put it in chat for me. I do appreciate it. Why are you benching Munoz? I just think the rest of my players are better fixtures. Would there be a defender that you would play over Munoz for? Would it be Gabriel? I just don't know. I don't think I'd play Munoz over João Pedro though. And that's my thinking. Smash the like button, says Aaron. I would appreciate that if you guys are enjoying the stream. Start Saw or Mbumo? With the speculation, I would probably just say Mbumo. He's on penalties. It's boring, but it's a safer play. Should I buy Chris Wood and sell João Pedro? Please help. Yeah, if I could afford that in one move, I would do that. Rafa Reza, yeah, I'm Captain Salah. Bench João Pedro over Rodgers? No, I'd play João Pedro. I'd bench Rodgers in most situations, to be honest with you. I have Flecken still. Is he worth the transfer for another keeper? I'm hoping for save points. No, I don't like goalkeeper transfers. The only thing I would say is that if you can afford Alisson, then that's an okay move. If you can afford Alisson for free, I think that's fine. Don't think Palmer will start as he picked up a knock and is missing from team training. Yeah, but they only play on Monday. Thank you, Vincent, for the news about him not training or him not traveling. They only play on Monday. Jackson vice captain. Yeah, Connor, it's a bit of banter. I'll probably change it though. I'll probably change it to Isaac. How's it, Jocks? Hopefully you're doing well. What's your total points? So here it is. 1361. You guys can compare that to what you guys are on. Bruno to Savinho this week. Samir, Bruno to Savinho this week. No, I just keep Bruno. If I'm sitting at 300k, I reckon the majority of people ahead of me will captain Salah. Tempted to take the risk. Martin, if you want to, that's fine. Ropefly, Enzo flag suddenly. He missed training as well as Palmer yesterday. Sorry, joined late. What's the plan? Bad network where I am. Well, Jacques, you'll be happy to know. Bad network where I am as well. My home connection has been trash. Rolling the transfer, Jacques. Let me change the vice captain so people just don't get mad. How did footy game go? Did you score? No, I assisted and we lost 6-2. It was our first game of Div 1, so bit of a rude awakening. Who is the next Liverpool player to target for the doubles coming up? So Linus, I think at the moment it's Alisson or Konate, but I think as we get closer, for example, let's say that Jota gets injured, Darwin's still trash, then you could see the emergence of like a Gakpo or Luis Diaz even more. So I don't want to give you the attacking options yet. I think we can discuss that later. Playing any footy games later today? No, Vincent, unfortunately not. I only played during the midweek. I'm close on 1365, so we're very close. We're almost neighbors. Start Timber or Robinson? I'd probably go Robinson in that situation. But just make sure what your other defenders are, because those two are quite good defenders. So who are you also playing? Well, it's to bank the transfer. Are you set on Salah captain over Palmer? Yes, I am. The same team as yours, just Van Dijk in place of Alexander-Arnold and Alisson. Own Souls and Mud and Wood. Please tell me transfers. I think that your transfers are the exact same that I would do. They look pretty okay. Unless, Nikhil, you can do João Pedro to Wood, then I'd say I'd do that. Any ideas on which manager we would be going for? Probably Arne Slot if it's Game Week 24's double, but otherwise I don't know. Are you making a transfer? No. Start Rodgers or Cole? Last one I promise. No worries. Northie, I would say if you own the double up in Arsenal defense, then Cowell. But if you don't, I'd play Rodgers. Okay, guys, with 8 minutes to go, I just need to upload my team to Discord, so I might lag here. Okay, the connection seems fine. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go check. I'm going to check Twitter for you guys very quickly. To just make sure that we don't have any early team sheet news. Okay, I don't see anything in terms of early team sheet news as of yet. So unfortunately, I don't think so. And it looks like the connection's still okay. So what we can do now is you guys can get your questions in for like a last 5 minute, 6 minute absolute run through of your questions, and I'll try and answer as many as possible. The one thing I want to note is that there hasn't been anything concrete on the Saliba out rumors. It seems like it's been some speculation, but some accounts are tweeting it, but I don't know how reliable they are. So if you guys have Saliba, for example, Mogo Slow's asking Saliba or Munoz, I would just play Saliba, and then if he doesn't play, Munoz will come off the bench anyways. Okay, cool. I think we're back. D1's asking what rank are you on track for at the end of the season? Hopefully top 10k. Chris is asking, start Mazraoui or Raul Jimenez? Definitely Raul Jimenez here, Chris. Also, first sub, Raul, Mazraoui or Rodgers. I'd go for Mazraoui first sub instead of Rodgers. Start Cowell or Robinson? Currently benching Cowell. Yeah, FPL Reds, that's an easy one for me. Definitely Robinson. Start one, João Pedro, Robinson or Martinelli. I'd go João Pedro Milos for the penalty threat. Captain Chris Woodall Salah. It's a, if you want to go differential or you want to go safe, that's basically the question. Francois, I would probably say Salah still. Is it worth doing Jackson to Isaac? Yes, Cameron. I think that's a good move. I just checked with the fantasy admin of your league. That said, if you passed your team in your own half, then did. Okay, thank you, Vincent. I should go and post that to them. Oscar saying, bench Saar, Hall, or Gabriel. I'm thinking Saar. I'd probably play Saar in that situation and then have maybe Hall first sub or Gabriel first sub? I think I'd play the attacker there, Oscar. Porro or Rogers? Who do Spurs even play? Spurs play Everton. I'd probably go Porro. Jackson to Wood. Dominic, if you want to do that move, I can understand it, brother. I'm not going to do it, but I can understand it if you want to do it. I especially like it if you have lots of transfers to spend. Do you think the West Ham vs Palace game will be high scoring? It's a tough one, Mario. I think it might be other way around. I think it might be low scoring. Start Martinelli or Robinson? I think you have to go Martinelli if he starts. And I think he will start after being benched. I've got a cup game today. If it goes to pens, should go right, left, or down the middle. Martin, I think you go right. Because I feel like keepers sometimes wait for the middle. So I would go right. Wood captain, is it a good choice? It's a punt choice. I think it's fine. I mean, I think there's a very high likelihood that Chris Wood does something this week. What's stronger, triple captain on solo, assistant manager on double game week? I think the assistant manager chip is going to be stronger. However, that doesn't mean that you should use it in double game week 24. It means that I think the chip overall is stronger. Salah or Wood captain? It's a classic kind of punt option versus non-punt option. Is the team locked in? Yes, the team is locked in. What's your predicted score between Nottingham Forest versus Southampton? Asks Winston. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Southampton. That's my prediction. Your stream is dead, says Kevin. Hopefully you're talking about the connection, not it actually being a dead stream, if you get what I'm saying. He's in prime form, Turang. I think I've made my choice and I have to kind of stick with it. Joburg, Durban, or Cape Town, which city is winning for you? Cape Town 100%. I don't even think it's a question about which city. It's like everyone is going to choose Cape Town. Lau. Start Hall or Eze? I'd go Eze. Vincent, you are premature. Start Gabriel or Aina? I'd go Aina. I think you have to play me in Southampton. Start Pedro Rogers? Pedro, definitely. Mbuma or Robinson, please? That's tough. I just don't know how you can bench Robinson. But unfortunately, Siddharth is on time here, as well as Phoenix. It is TUPD time. Yaquibus is saying green arrows, everyone. Hopefully, Yaquibus. I'm hoping for some green arrows this week. But yeah, unfortunately, guys, I do have enough of a good connection to write TUPD time. But time is officially up, and therefore your pens should be down. That's what it stands for, doesn't it? But I do appreciate the patience, guys. I won't lie to you. Thank you for those of you that stuck out. You OG supporters. I'll give a couple OG emojis in chat, but do appreciate the patience this week. I know the connection was trash, but hopefully next week it's going to be a bit better. And I'm just hoping for a green arrow. Look, it's going to be a little bit of a longer planning session on kind of a quick turnaround. But hopefully you guys get a green arrow this week, like myself, hoping for a Jackson Hattie, the things I would do for that one, and a Chris Wood blank. Is that too much to ask for? I think so, but we can dream and we can wish. But thank you for joining the stream, as mentioned. Thank you for the patience this week. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I do appreciate your guys' support. And I'm going to sign off. It's been Dave FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.